Hi there, Kim Coles here, and this is the Wisdom Gifts Author Podcast Experience. I'm so excited to have as my guest one of the authors in the Wisdom Gifts book, Pauline Walker. And I don't speak French, so she's going to correct me, but the name of her business is Unapologetically Beauty and Wellness. Did I get it?
Yes.
Welcome, Pauline. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So happy to be here.
Yes. So what does un toi mean?
It's so funny. Most people think I speak French, but my family speak French. I don't. But I wanted to pull from my culture and name my company Antoine Beauty and Wellness. And Antoine is simply in you or into you.
Into you. And you are Haitian by
Yes.
culture. All
Yes,
right.
I am Haitian.
Well, so we can learn French together. It's such a beautiful language.
My aunt tried teaching me, but if you're, it's how it is with languages. If you're not using it, you're losing it. So.
That's right. But how beautiful. And we can start right there that you decided to name your business and ground it in that beautiful history and ancestry, really. Well,
Mhm.
so what does Antoine Beauty and Wellness mean? What is it all about? What does Pauline do in her business?
Honestly, to put it in just one word, I empower.
Mm,
I empower other women through whether it's from wearing their hair or starting a business, just empowering women to walk in their authentic, true selves.
I
And
love it.
when it comes to our hair, our hair is everything. So making sure that we're comfortable with the hair that's on our head with our crown, I pretty much help beautify women.
I love it. I love it. So I know that you have an interesting journey to moving to, and by the way, let me gush on you a little bit. You know, I have told you that I'm a fan of sister locks, and so you have what we call sister locks. Do you want to explain what sister locks are to people so they just get that?
Yeah, so Sister Locks is a trademark brand. And it's really just small, tiny locks cultivated into just small, tiny locks. You can wear them long, short, different things. It was created by Dr. Cornwell. And so this is what most people are wearing. Of course, there are other variations of it, but for the most part, Sister Locks is a branded small locks.
You know, I told you when we had our first interview that when I decided to take my micro braids out and decided was thinking about going on the lock journey, Dr.
Mhm.
Cornwell reached out to me and she said that she would install my sister locks. So that's like Michelangelo saying, "Let me paint you." And so I decided not to jump into the journey yet, but being in your world has really re-inspired me. So thank you for that. I love the look. I love the freedom. Or maybe you could talk about what Sister Locks, what the journey really is, and how it helps people, helps women and men and kids. Really,
Yeah, honestly, the entire journey, whether someone's wearing sister locks, micro locks, traditional locks, some people refer to it as dreadlocks. It is truly freedom. It is hair freedom at its max. It allows you to just embrace who you are, embrace your natural curls, embrace how your hair typically, flows. So it allows you to walk in your freedom. I
Mhm.
That's something that I've experienced. I love the get up and go. Literally. I had a bonnet on, I took it off and shake, 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 and went on by my day.
Well, I love that, and like I said, I'm a fan, so I won't gush too much more. But let's talk a little bit about your journey to become a fan and a devotee of this system, and then becoming a loctician. And
Mhm.
we're also going to talk about the way that you empower others by helping them also build their businesses. So you became, a fan, I guess, or a client.
Mhm.
Now you teach it to others, and now you teach them how to build. And so let's
Yeah.
talk a bit about your journey into this space.
Yeah, like you said, I started off as a client. I went natural in my 20s,
Mhm.
and that journey lasted all of 2 years. I don't know how people do it, but it's so much work. And at the time I was in corporate America and trying to tame your hair to fit into, this corporate world, it was more of a struggle that I was willing to take on because it was just so much work. And I created like three styles that I was like, okay, this is going to have to work for me to be able to make my morning process
Mhm.
easy. So 2 years into the journey, I said I could not wear my hair loose natural. I
Mhm.
need something. And at the time, I saw people wearing small locks, sister locks, and I was like, let me try this. And so I decided to lock my hair. And after locking my hair, I enjoyed it. And of course, when people see something in your hair, oh my God, I love your hair. Do you do this? I'm like, no, I don't. But
Mhm.
being in my 9 to 5, as I, and mind you, I have a history in hair. I've done hair in my past. So I've been doing hair since I was 14. So,
Mhm.
but natural hair, braids, all of that stuff, the micro braids that you talk about, I was doing all of that since I was 14. So when people started inquiring about me doing their locks, because I had locks and most people knew of my background, it's not something I wanted to, delve into. But after being in corporate for a while, my passion for the corporate industry started dying. So I was like, I got to figure something else out. And I
Mhm.
tried to consider other corporate jobs, but deep down inside, I was like, oh, I think I just want to work for myself. And so I decided to go back into the hair industry. And this time I only focused on locks. So I started doing locks. I took a course, learned how to do it, and started providing that service to others and empowering women through that hair journey because that corporate lifestyle, trying to figure out how to wear your hair naturally without pressing and the
Mhm.
relaxers and all that stuff, it's a challenge. So providing freedom to women in that way was a win-win.
It's a win-win. And I want to tell you something I'm hearing here. So anyone listening to this who's thinking, well, I'm not thinking of locking my hair, or, is the answer to leaving corporate locking hair and doing it for other people. Really what she's saying is that she really listened to the voice, her inner voice. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
And really, really tapping into what really makes me happy and or what's not making me happy,
Mhm.
So sort of moving away from this world. And then it seems to me as if people saw how great you looked and know your history of doing this, and you were called in by the people. It's like, wait a minute, I don't want to do this, I do enjoy this. Can I marry something that I've been doing since I was a kid and really activate that passion? And I also heard you say that you got the training that you needed, and
Mhm.
really powerful. So I just want people to hear that this is about hair, but not about hair. You can do this in anything, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't want, decide what you do want, and then go all the way in. So thank you for that. Thank you for that lesson.
Yeah, yeah, because the beauty of it is a lot of times what we're ultimately meant to do, we've
Mm.
already been doing it and we've
Oh,
already dabbled into it a little bit, but we just don't realize it until you have other experiences that kind of line up that path for you to show you, okay,
yeah.
this is where you need to be.
Maybe you could tell us how we can listen to that, how we can connect that, how we can get attuned to something we've been doing for so long that we probably don't even think about the passion of it. We just do it. We love doing it, and can make that connection, because I think there's many people doing corporate jobs and other things that they don't want to do. How do we make that connection so that we are living more authentically, like you talked about?
Yes, honestly, I think for me, the biggest thing was I had to constantly check what was making me happy. Because a lot of times we're doing things because it's that mindset that we had back then that, oh, in college, I knew I wanted to go get that 9 to 5, get that corporate job. You have this timeline in your head, you have this idea in your head for when you were younger and you
Mm.
think I just must continue that way. And those ideas aren't bad because ultimately whatever you're meant to do, it's going to kind of take you on that journey and land you where you absolutely needed to be in the first place. But I think having people in your corner, having mentorship or a coach, um, listening to that inside voice and taking those steps into just saying yes to certain opportunities, because a lot of times opportunities come our way, and so the more we say yes, the more we're drawn to and get exposed to what we're supposed to be doing. But if
Mm,
we're constantly saying no, 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 and not allowing ourselves to explore, we kind of get sidetracked. And then going back to the coach, sometimes we don't see in us what other people see. So having talking to other people and um, having someone else see you for who you are, because I
mm,
sometimes I struggle with who am I,
mm.
and understanding what I'm put here for. So talking to other people, they see more, they see certain things, and they're like, I can see you doing this, and all of a sudden everything start clicking and making sense. You're like, oh yeah, I was doing something like that. Oh yeah, this is something I've been thinking about, but I never put the two together. So sometimes having someone else pull that natural gift or whatever it is out of you, and you linking the two together to make it work.
I think that is super helpful and super useful, and someone who just got an answered prayer just from listening to that. And so now I'm going to speak about answered prayers. You have now transitioned to actually become a coach too.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
so you obviously had someone or someones in your life who saw this spark in you. And this to me is the ultimate, sort of circle of life, that we receive what we need and then we give it to others. So can we talk about so you're doing hair, you're, doing great things. What was the moment you decided, oh, wait a minute, I can now be that mentor and that coach for others? What was that moment?
Mhm. Ooh, like I said, everything is like a step or a process. I remember just doing hair, and my clients would say, you should teach this to other people because not everyone has access to you like we do. Your knowledge is just, it's a kept secret. So you should start a YouTube channel. I was not, it took me about 5 years to listen. Because I was like, what? Me being on camera talking to people? No way. Not me, but I had to get outside of myself and not think about me, but think about the other people who wanted freedom, who wanted hair freedom. And so I eventually started the YouTube channel, and I just started sharing my knowledge. And of course, from there, people were like, do you have a course? We want to learn. And so just seeing the needs as it developed, and of course, people constantly, you're a great teacher, you're great at this, you're great at that. And I'm like, well, I do like to, help women. I do want to teach women this skill. If that's something they want to learn, I am open to it. And as I continue to do it, I said, oh, I love it. I love the transformation, being able to see women, go from, oh, I don't know if this is meant for me. I don't know if I can leave my 9 to 5. I don't know if I can do all of this to now making 6 figures, now providing for their family in a way that they never imagined. So being able to see the transformation, to see the joy, the freedom, whether it's the hair or the freedom from the 9 to 5, it was amazing seeing that journey. And so that empowered me to continue to share with other women, help them get unstuck. Because sometimes we're all up here and you need someone else to take you outside of that, out of here, and put things into action.
So you help people set their business up so that it's successful. Do you also teach how to do hair too? So
Yes, I do have online courses where they can literally step by step by step learning how to do the technique, how they can understand whether you've gone through cosmetology school or not. You're able to learn the technique and you're able to care for your clients' hair. So they get the step by step, and I meet with them monthly and coach them through the process. So if they have additional questions, because sometimes you know how it is with online courses. You take online courses and you just feel like you're on an island by yourself. So knowing my experience, I didn't want anyone to go through that. So on top of the online access that they also have me, where we meet once a month, and I coach them through their if there's any type of confusion or whatever it is, I coach them through the process and help them with that. And I do that for 6 months until they're ready to spread their wings and get started. And so that's the course portion. But people who already know the technique, already have a business up and running, but they're looking to expand, they're looking for ways to grow their business beyond the chair, I also help we have a separate program for that, which is my mentorship program, where I help women, figure out other ways to generate income without using their hands. Because we all know when you're doing hair, your hands get tired. You're not able to get into the salon, kids, this and that. You want other ways to be able to generate income without feeling like, man, I'm not at work today and I'm not making any money. So
I,
yes.
so you've built this empire, and someone can come in and learn how to do the hair, come in,
Mm-hmm.
build a business, and come
Mm-hmm.
in and learn how to grow a business, and grow a business that involves, I think what I'd like to say, what I love about this is that it's not just you with your hands in the hair all the time.
Right, right,
Expansive. And so now
right.
someone can make residual money, or as they say, money
Mhm.
while they sleep, right?
Yes, we love that money while you sleep.
So you came from what you just said. I heard you say behind the chair, and then you stepped out on stage. And so, you know, you said it took you 5 years for you to actually step out onto the stage, and YouTube absolutely is a stage. And I know that you speak, I know that you teach. What was that final moment that you said, I gotta do this? Or what was the thing that finally clicked, that maybe you said, it's not about me, it's about all the people that I can help? What did that,
Mm.
or what was,
When I would hear my clients' testimonies, when they would share that I'm a single mom working at a hotel, working as a maid, making seven. Ooh, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, but just making $7 an hour, trying to provide for like 5 kids or whatever it is. And then you turn around and give them a skill that they can take and use it, monetize it, and then create unlimited income, if you will, for yourself, and not being stuck with just 7, 8, 9, $10 an hour when you can create something bigger and greater for your family. So seeing that, my first testimony was my sister. I'm not leaving anyone behind. If I know something, I am going to share. As long you're willing to execute, and I will give you the information and you do. And just seeing her testimony and other women's testimony and how they're able to not only provide for themselves but for their family. Oh, that I think that was the turning point where I was like, I got to help more women. I
yes,
got to do this for them.
I love it. Would you ever go back to corporate again?
Oh no.
That
No
was a
ma'am.
knew the answer to that question. So tell us about is there some, we don't want to give everything away about the chapter, but is there some key takeaway from the chapter that you've written, and so generously written, that you want to share with us, that just makes us go, when I get this book, I'm opening it directly to her chapter? What would you tell us?
Mm. Um, Key takeaway I would say is allow yourself to be stretched.
Mm.
Allow yourself to be stretched because wherever you are in your journey, whatever path you take, you're going to be stretched. And you just have to allow yourself to go through the process.
Mhm.
We tell our clients all the time that it's a process. Trust the process. Trust the process. So, in your own journey, you're going to have to trust the process. It won't be easy, but if you just trust the process, when you get on the other end, you're gonna look back and say, "Oh, I'm so glad I trusted the process." But I also want people to know that even when you get to the other end, you just conquered one hill. There's another hill.
Hill.
There's another hill, but regardless of what you do on the journey, you're going to have to trust the process and it's worth it.
It's worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we can ground ourselves in that, and know that there will be an outcome. There's another hill. I don't want to even focus on the next hill. Can I just get to the first hill and just rest for a minute?
Yes, you can get to the first hill and rest. You absolutely can because you've been stretched. Now you're like, okay, let
Wait a
me enjoy stretching. Let me just let my muscles recuperate.
minute. As we're talking about this, I think I find that any time that I've gone through a challenge and I trusted or didn't trust the process, actually I didn't trust the process and I made it harder for myself. So there's that.
Mm,
But finally, you give into it. You go, this is what it is. It is what it is. Do you find that when you get to that next hill, you go, wait a minute, I now have some more confidence. I got through that. I know I can keep going. And so I said we want to, I said I wanted to rest, but the truth is there's never been any hill that I stayed on very long. It was like, let's keep going. And I get that sense that that's what you do with your clients, right?
Yes, because you have that momentum now.
Mhm.
You know, you talk about that confidence, but you also have that momentum. And then you have that thrill like, oh, I did it. Now let's repeat.
So I'm going to ask you, you've built this business, you help other women, you're seeing your clients thrive, you're thriving in the midst. What hill are you standing on right now and you're ready to stretch yourself for the next step? What's the next step for you?
Ooh, that hill. So, another stretching moment where I'm like, oh Lord, do I want to be stretched again? But you know, if you're not stretching, you're stagnant. You're gonna get stiff. So, and I know I don't want to be stiff. So I gotta continue the journey. But for me, I definitely want to expand the different platforms that I use to reach my audience.
Okay.
So that could be podcasting, that could be, you know, another stage. So, which will definitely require more stretching from me.
Well, we're seeing you right now in this space. I think you would be absolutely excellent. You are intelligent and you've got wisdom and you've got knowledge. And most importantly, you have the passion for it. So I have
Mm,
no doubt that that is a hill that you will stretch yourself all the way to and stand on that hill and rest a little bit. Not even rest, you'll be working and working all your podcasts. I think your voice is a great voice to have. I mean, literally and figuratively, your voice is needed in the space. And
oh, thank
um,
you.
and because you're so passionate and because you've gone through the steps. This is not someone who just gave this to you. You figured it out as you went along, like you stretched your,
Mhm.
so you're a product of the product. So that makes me, I'm excited for you. And you're on a podcast right now. So there,
I
you've begun.
know, my first one.
The first of many, I'm sure. I'm sure. So I'll ask you just a final question. What would you like to leave us with? You've given us so many nuggets already and you've been so generous. Is there any other thing that I haven't asked you or any other thing that you would like to leave with someone, maybe as it relates to hair, as it relates to mindset, as it relates to business, as it relates to any of it? What would you leave?
Mhm. I would just, my advice would be just do it already.
Mm,
Whether you're thinking about locking, just do it already. Whether you're thinking about transitioning from that 9 to 5, just do it already. Whether you're thinking about going to, just do it already. You know, we spend so much time planning, and no execution.
mhm.
So we can plan. You definitely need a plan because I talked about that, you know, in my chapter. How I plan. You definitely need a plan, but
Mhm.
execute. Once you're done, execute, and don't spend too much time in the planning phase because it's a journey. It's
It's
a journey because you spend all this time planning and you realize you get to the next step, you still got to do some more planning. So it never really stops. So
I feel like you're speaking to me when I tell you I've been planning to be sister locked for years now. I watch the videos, I go on the websites, I look at the different I try to figure out what my hair would look like and every person I've ever met who is sister locked in particular, they always go, I waited too long. My only regret is I spent too much time planning.
yeah,
So I see how this relates to hair and I see how this relates to life. You can
yes,
little bit. You can look and look over there, but just jump in and just get it done. Just do
do
it. Because you
it.
said already.
Just do it already.
Just do it already. It's not even just do it. It's just do it already.
Just do
Oh,
it already. Execute.
that's cute. Thank you so much, Pauline. I really appreciate that you said yes to the wisdom gifts. I'm so excited for people to read your chapter and to learn more about you, or to even come and work with you, because I know that you've got that calming spirit where I'd want to sit in your chair and have you in my scalp anyway. But
Mm,
in my scalp and helping me to build my business, that's good.
I like that. In my scalp and in my business.
And not the way that we know most hairstylists get in your business. You help people build their business instead of getting
Build
in.
a business.
Paul, thank you so much. I'll say au revoir and merci.
Ooh, wee wee.
Thank you.
This was amazing, Kim. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I truly appreciate it. And it's been a joy working with you and your staff.
Joie de vivre. No, that's all the French I know. I'm gonna stop before I get in trouble. Okay?
Listen, I can't judge you because I don't know much of it myself.
That was fantastique, magnifique. I told you I don't speak French, but I'm so glad that Pauline Walker said yes to being in this book and said yes to sharing these amazing key takeaways with us. Do it already. I'm going to do it right now. That's what we're doing.